Joining me now is Chuck Todd, moderator of Meet the Press. Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, good morning, Ariana.
Okay, so big talker this morning is with the debt ceiling limit. Now, the last time we had this issue, Democrats control both chambers of Congress. Now that Congress is split, Republicans say they're intent on using the federal limit as leverage to extract concessions from Democrats. Now, although President Biden has agreed to meet with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, the White House are saying they do not plan to negotiate on a debt limit at this point. Now, this will be the first test for the new House Speaker. So how does Kevin McCarthy navigate this?
I think he's in a position where he can't do much because he's only Speaker essentially because he agreed to use the debt limit moment, use this first moment as a showdown of sorts with the Democrats and with the White House. So unlike previous speakers Boehner and Ryan, who both at some point said, you know what, guys, we got to allow a group of Republicans to cut a deal. And while a majority of Republicans didn't raise the debt ceiling, enough worked with Democrats to get it done. This is still going to be how it happens. But I think because of McCarthy's precarious hold on the speakership, he can't be involved. So you're going to have a rogue group of 8, 10, 15 House Republicans, perhaps those that sit in districts that Joe Biden carried, that will end up breaking off at some point and doing this. But it's going to be a bit more convoluted. We're going to have a lot more heated rhetoric. It is going to be more topsy-turvy. You'll have gyrations in the stock market. It will be uncomfortable. The only winners are hedge funds. The big losers are people whose 401ks matter to them and live off of retirement. And we'll get there. And I don't know what will have come out of it other than essentially unnecessary economic instability. But I think that's the world we're living in now here in Washington, and I think that the best you can hope for is that it gets done at the last minute.
Because at some point it will have to be done. Now, today is the 50th anniversary since the landmark Supreme Court Roe v. Wade decision, which we know the High Court has since reversed this ruling, which was also the first time in modern history that an opinion was actually leaked. So after an 8-month internal investigation, we still don't know exactly how or who leaked this ruling. Will we ever get to the bottom of this, and what does the handling of rulings in the future look like at this point?
I don't know if we'll ever find out. I think that it's pretty clear this investigation was shut down. It was not finished. There was only, look, the leak was not illegal. And since it was not illegal, there's only so much investigating you can do, if that makes sense. If this were illegal, if Congress had deemed Supreme Court decisions before they're released as classified material and leaking that was a leaking of a classified document, then there could be real prosecution, then the FBI would be involved. But leaking that decision was not illegal. It was certainly unethical to how the Supreme Court works, but it was not illegal. So I think it limits their investigative abilities here. But I also think you have a Chief Justice that doesn't necessarily think finding out helps. It's clear there's some trust issues on this court right now. We have gone longer than any other Supreme Court term this century for seeing a first decision show up. So far, this Supreme Court has yet to issue one decision, not one. This is the longest we've gone this century, and it's among the longest we've gone and when you even check in the 20th century. It is perhaps a sign this is a group of justices that are not getting along, but it's also maybe a sign that they're changing the way they do decisions because perhaps there's close holds, however it's working, but we're not getting any decisions right now, and it tells you something has changed.
All right, thank you so much, Chuck. Meet the Press airs at 10 right after 11 Alive Weekend Morning News.